Howdy, 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 my beautiful Gemini. How are you doing today, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, Gemini, and today we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading for March going into April 2023, darling. All right. So if you do enjoy this tarot reading, Gemini, check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign. That's how I make these tarot readings work the best for you on YouTube, is by catering these tarot readings to your astrological chart. All right. And be aware about fake accounts, my beautiful Gemini. The only place that I do my tarot readings is through my website, SimplyVelca.com. I will never reach out to you personally for any of that. I'm not tacky, darling. So let's get into your tarot reading, Gemini. I have a Celtic cross already laid out for you here, but the overall energy for you this week is the unmarked trail, Gemini, revelation here. All right. And so based off of your cards here and now this oracle card, Gemini, I have like a love-hate type of relationship when it comes to your reading here. I love it because I see what it is that you are currently working on. It's going to lead to a major revelation in your life. It's going to lead to opening a really big door in your life. All right. But I also see like your past trying to creep in. And specifically, it's almost like a sense for you, like a person. Like I feel like there's almost like this sense of like an obsession this person has had for you. And I feel like on some level here, they might be trying something this week. So definitely be careful about that. All right. Do your proper protections, your proper cleansing, keep that block button strong. Ultimately, Libra, I called you Libra, ultimately Gemini, because like there's definitely like a level of obsession that I feel like is going to be coming to light here. So let's just get right into your tarot reading here. In your current situation right now, Gemini, you have the Knight of Wands here. All right. And so this is the person that I feel like I was tapping into, because in the challenge position, you have the World card, the final card of the major arcana. And this gives me very much so like you're dealing with a person here that is not really used to the world not revolving around them, to be very honest here. It's like you're dealing with someone who is extremely self-centered. You're dealing with somebody that, or you dealt with somebody, because I don't feel like you're really wanting to entertain them for much longer. I feel like maybe their truth came to the light, or where it's just like you finally woke up and saw the red flags there, Gemini. But ultimately, I feel like you are dealing with somebody that just is not used to the world not revolving around them. I feel like very much so strong, like only child syndrome, or just always being around like an echo chamber of people that will never hold this person accountable. And I feel like you held this person accountable for whatever the reasoning was, right? You have your reasonings, like what they did to you, what they said, what have you. That's your business there, right? You don't need a stranger on the internet to tell you that it's okay to do that. But ultimately here, it's like you try to close it off with them and start like a new chapter of your life, because it was almost as if due to this connection here, Gemini, you were not able to fully do everything that you wanted. I don't know if it's like, for example, Gemini, maybe you wanted to travel, but this person didn't. And so, or like this person, like that you both wanted to travel, but this person never wanted to do the work to get the money to travel. Or I feel like you two different wavelengths here, right? And you ended up being the one suffering here, right? And so I feel like by you releasing this person, it is really allowed for you, Gemini, to start developing other things in your life. But it's like as you continue trying to develop things in your life, you hear like an annoying knock on the door from this person being like, oh, hey, what's up? Have you forgotten about me, Gemini? I also feel like on some level, and this does not have to be about romance, darling, I could feel very much so strongly like that annoying family member that always has to create drama. All right. Or I can easily see this as like a friend. I say friendship very loosely, like a person in like your friend circle that just likes to, if it is like a friend, I would guess this is like a person, if it's like a friend aspect, maybe I'm giving y'all too much credit, Gemini. I don't think I am. Maybe you can correct me, I suppose. But I don't feel like it's like if it's a friend, I feel like you've just outgrown the friend. And so you've been really in this awkward phase of trying to focus on other things in your life, while it's like your friend that you have there is still kind of on their doing their own thing here. It's like you want to grow your business, or you want to grow something, and then your friend is still doing the same things that they've been doing for a long time. All right. And so moving on from there, we have in your focus position right now the Page of Swords here. So in your focus position, I feel like you're craving just new energy, right? And I feel like the thing about it is for you is that you're craving just like new conversation, new people to connect with, new conversations. You're craving just something that just like excites you more, all right? Mentally, more mentally stimulating. All right. I also feel for you, Gemini, there's been a lot of things that you've had in your head that you've wanted to do in your life, but because of this Knight of Wands from beforehand that we were talking about, you haven't been able to have all the time doing it. And there's almost this sense here where I feel like for some of you Geminis, there's something you've wanted to do. And now that you're in this process of detaching yourself from it, I feel like there's more than the initial thing that, let's just say for example, Gemini is like, you want to go traveling, and yeah, you've gone traveling, but there's other things that you wanted to do that that person was holding you back from. Like you like traveling, but also you like doing tailoring, and you want to have like an embroidery business or something that you never could do because of that person there, you know, being in a distraction, making you feel bad about yourself, so on and so forth. It's almost this message here for you, Gemini, telling you just like, hey, like, yes, as you continue detaching, you're going to be noticing more things that you wanted to do in your life start coming to the forefront, because your spiritual team is reminding you of this, because one of those things, and the near possibility for you, very possible, is going to be something that has a lot of substance, something that will really be something that could grow and develop into something, rather than it just being like something just to experience and then be like, all right, well, that was fun doing that, but not again, type of thing there. All right. And so it's like your spiritual team is really actively trying to replace this Knight of Wands energy. And it could be, yeah, like they're actively trying to replace this Knight of Wands energy. With new things, new ideas, I don't want to call it distractions because it kind of sounds insulting, but just new things that you can invest yourself into that actually is fulfilling for you, rather than having you always sacrificing your time and your energy, right? Things that are actually more stimulating, because you have really cut a lot of losses in your life, Gemini. I don't know if this is just recently, in the recent months, that you've been actively doing this. I feel like it is actually. There's a lot of things that you have been starting to detach yourself from with this Six of Swords. You've been detaching yourself from it, and really, like, I feel like you really have really learned about how to set boundaries. I feel like there's been a lot of people that you've chosen to just no longer talk to. Like there wasn't really a confrontation, you kind of just chose to do your own thing. But I feel like these were certain situations, especially if it is about people, like you didn't really want to have to accept that you needed to, like, that you have outgrown certain people. I feel like it kind of sucked for you in that way, where it's just like, I know this is for my best interest, but does it have to feel so lonely, right? Does it have to feel like this? And in your near future, Gemini, you have the Star card, all right? And so this is really a time that I want to be saying, just like, be very self-aware about what intent you're putting out there, Gemini. By identifying what it is that you're wanting in your near future, it can be coming into reality. The star represents the very thing that you've wanted for such a long time in your life, right? And so, you know, regardless of whatever it is here, Gemini, part of the reason why I bring up this message is that you want to continue feeding more energy into that, rather than continue feeding energy into this situation here that maybe you really tried your best. You tried your damnedest, Gemini, to make this situation work out. But at the end of the day, y'all are just going in separate paths. You are doing your own thing there. All right. And so, yeah, that's what I see here. I know I've been speaking quite a bit without even pausing here, Gemini, but it feels almost as if, like, whatever the situation is, like, you didn't want to have to do this. Like, I feel like you were extremely patient, more patient than you normally would be when it comes to situations and people, when people are involved, especially. But I feel like that Knight of Wands really hit like a soft spot for you here. And the thing about it is, like, I don't feel like there's any type of maliciousness in any of this here. I feel like, as I said from before, Gemini, I feel like you're just really craving stimulation. I feel like you're really craving just growth And I feel like you're able to see like where you're being held back by trying to make this situation work out with that Knight of Wands. All right. In your power position, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So no matter what it is, Gemini, like if you release something, you're going to replace it with something better. All right. The thing about it is for you, Gemini, is like you are somebody that is very self-reflective. Like you can see in yourself, like being like, okay, like I should improve on this. Like when it comes to having like a conversation about a relationship and like what went wrong or like miscommunication or like a fight, Gemini, y'all are the zodiac signs that is the easiest to be able to take like a conversation like that, be like, okay, yeah, I can see where I went wrong in this situation and be mature about it, right? I feel like your main frustration is dealing with people that are not able to grow from like after like a situation has happened. It's like, yeah, the problem happened, you know, and we can talk about it, but do you truly understand like why it was a problem type of thing there? So anyway, something I feel like you need to hear, Gemini, but also again, like I feel like you're destined for a lot of growth, but I feel like you need to be repotted. You know, when a root system has outgrown its pot, you need to take it out of its pot and put it into a new system. That plant kind of has the tower moments when you think about it, and you want to make it really geeky with tarot. That plant has a tower moment, but you are that plant. But when you go into that new pot, you have so much more space to grow even deeper roots. And I feel like that's what you're long overdue for, Gemini, is that it's long overdue to spread your roots out, because this is a year, it feels to be a year where like a lot of new things coming. Like it's more so, I feel like 2023 is going to be like you finally experiencing what you always knew you were capable of. Does that make sense? It's like you always knew you were capable of certain things, but it never showed in the physical world. It was always just internally. But this is going to be the year it actually comes into the physical. In your environment right now, Gemini, you have the Three of Cups, right? The Three of Cups being in your environment feels to be, I wouldn't be surprised if either you start reconnecting with like an old friend, Gemini, or someone in your social circle, Gemini, someone in your social circle that you need to pay more attention to, or someone in your social circle you may be starting or working on something new with them here in the coming days. But also the Three of Cups ultimately just represents positive news coming into your life. All right, Gemini. So it's like things are looking pretty good for you overall. And so don't be feeling bad about leaving something behind, because it's going to be replaced. All right. And your hopes and fears, you have the Knight of Cups. You're worried about settling, Gemini. All right. But at the same time, it's like you have like this inner turmoil in your head of being like, all right, like where am I settling where I shouldn't be, and where should I be settling? Because how do I want to put this, Gemini? It's like I feel like you have like this conflicting feeling where it's just like you want to be a bitch, but you also don't want to settle. That's how it is. It's like you don't want to be a bitch, but at the same time, it's just like, all right, what's the fine line between being that and then just not settling for something less? I don't feel like you have to really worry about that, Gemini. Usually the people that are bitches, or people problematic bitches anyways, they don't have that question ever. So they don't think about that. So don't stress yourself out too much about that, Gemini. Like I feel like it's totally capable of you to like not settle and be really happy with what it is that comes out, because remember, in your near future, that's star energy. All right, like it's totally possible for you to have all 10 cups filled. All right, you're not going to deny 9 cups being offered to you and then feel like you have pie on your face because like there's no more offers afterwards, right? And in your outcome position, should you follow this energy that I tapped into for your tarot reading, you have the Page of Pentacles. Now this is the second page that has came out for you. Come out for you? Came out? Come out? Come? This is the second page that stepped forward for you, Gemini. here, and pages represents new energy coming into your life. You guys have a lot of new things coming in, right? I think it's spring right now. I know it's gone up an hour, but it's still some, we still keep on having some chilly nights in Florida, honey. I think it's spring though, and so it's like very much so like the spring cleaning. It's just like, yeah, you outgrown certain things, but like you outgrow these clothes, but you have more clothes coming in. Basically, you'll have more finances coming in to replace those clothes. And so yeah, ultimately that's what your main reading has been about, Gemini, is like the promise of bigger and better coming should you walk away right now, which is interesting. So let's get into your oracle cards now, Gemini. So I'll let you go and have you enjoy the rest of your Monday. All right, what's going on for you for your oracle reading here? All right, you have your first quarter moon, Gemini, speaking your world into being. All right, remember what I was just saying beforehand with the star card. Some of you guys are gonna need to watch this back a couple times. All right, with the star card here, as well as the speaking your world into being, both of these cards are saying, she's like, hey, it's very possible for you to create what it is that you want in this lifetime here. So be very aware about your thoughts and don't choose to settle just because you think there's nothing better along that could possibly come forward, right? Your animal oracle card for today, Gemini, is the scarab beetle, number 7 in numerology. So look that up at a later point in time, which is the chariot card in numerology as well. So if you have such a, or not Sagittarius, if you have Cancer in your chart, check out a Cancer reading. All right. You have the scarab beetle spirit saying magic is working through you right now. All right. All of your cards, Gemini, are really reinforcing like energy right now, reinforcing the sense of potential, what could be created in this lifetime for you. Are you noticing that? All right. Is there any other cards that we want to pull? I guess we'll do another animal oracle card because why not, darling? Right. Right, and you guys got the platypus card. Now you're gonna be being like, Velka, why'd you pull this one? Because the platypus card is a little bit brutal of a message, a little bit too confrontational. This card says stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. But I kind of see this as the sense of where it's just like, yeah, you have that Knight of Wands, right? You have that situation that you walked away from. Sure, they're coming at you with a bunch of noise and trying to create a bunch of drama, but do you really need to entertain it? Like, it can be annoying if you give energy into it, but it's just like, what if you just close the door? What if you just blocked them, right? So that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you today, Gemini. I hope this tarot reading resonated with you as well, but check out my friend's newsletter, winningpond.com. It's from based off of Minnow Pond Tarot. You probably have seen his videos if you have seen mine, but yeah, he opened up a spiritual newsletter with a bunch of beautiful content that will really help you, motivate you for your life. So check that out if you want. It's free. And yeah, I love you so much. Bye, Gemini.